scoring and what actually wins you the game. If you're new to rugby, then you must be wondering how you win games, but let's not overthink this because the goal is simple. Score more points than the other team and you win. But getting those points is exactly where the numbers game begins. The most exciting way to score is the try. To get one, you'll have to carry the ball into the opponent's goal area and ground it with control. That's 5 points. And it doesn't matter if you dive, crawl, or sneak in backwards. As long as it touches the ground properly, it counts. But wait, there's a little bonus waiting after that, and that's the conversion. It's a kick through the goalposts worth 2 extra points, but there's a catch. It's taken from in line with where the try was scored. So yeah, if you score near the corner flag, your kicker's going to have a real hard time. Now that you know it's better to aim for the center if you care about your kicker's mental health, then we've got penalty goals. These can be scored if the other team messes up by doing something dumb and dangerous. You can choose to kick for goal, and that's 3 points. Last but not least, we have the drop goal. In this case, you drop the ball in play, let it bounce, and boot it through the posts. It's not easy, but very effective when the clock's ticking and nerves are fried. Some games are won this way, usually with fans screaming their lungs out, the field and number of players on each side. Rugby's not a game for tiny playgrounds. This field is big. We're talking around 100 metres long and about 70 metres wide. Then there are the in-goal areas behind each try line where you actually score. Think of them as bonus zones where everyone's desperately trying to either score or stop the other team from scoring. Now imagine that space filled with 30 players. That's 15 players per team. And it's not like football where players aren't doing much for half the game. In rugby, everyone's busy all the time. Each team's made up of 8 forwards and 7 backs. The forwards are your bruisers. They are big, strong, and absolutely ready to smash into anything that moves. They handle scrums, lineouts, rucks, and all the gritty stuff that leaves you wondering how their bones haven't turned to dust. Then there are the backs. They're usually the ones with speed, skill, and a bit of flair. They pass quickly, run wide, and sometimes score tries from the halfway line like it's no big deal. Their job is to exploit space, support the forwards, and avoid getting flattened. Positions are numbered 1 through 15, and yes, the numbers actually mean something. Once you learn who does what, all the chaos starts to make a lot more sense. How long do they actually play for? Rugby games don't last forever, even if the players look like they've aged a decade by full time. Each match is split into 2 halves and each one runs for 40 minutes. That gives you 80 minutes of action, not including stoppages, but here's the twist. The clock doesn't stop every 5 seconds like in some other sports. It only stops for serious stuff like major injuries or when the referee needs help from the TMO. But what's the TMO? That's the television match official. It's a fancy title for the video replay guy. The TMO is called upon when there's doubt over a try or foul play. In such a situation, the ref pauses the game and takes a peek at the footage. It slows things down a bit, but it usually helps get the right call. Now, if it's a knockout match and things are tied at full time, brace yourself because we're going into extra time. That's usually 2 10-minute halves. And if it's still even, it can go further. I'm talking about the golden point, sudden death, and penalty shootouts. No one wants that because everyone's tired, sweating, and some are even bleeding. But someone's got to win. So yeah, the match is technically 80 minutes, but don't bet your dinner plans on it finishing on time because rugby doesn't care about your schedule. Kickoffs, restarts, and booting all right. So the game kicks off with, well, a kick. A drop kick from the halfway line to be exact, and the ball needs to travel at least 10 meters. If it doesn't, the ref gives the other team options, usually a scrum, and you'll be hearing that word a lot. After every score, the restart is another drop kick from halfway. It's all about who gets the ball next and where. As for kicking in open play, that's a whole art form on its own. Sometimes it's a clearance kick to escape pressure, other times it's a grubber kick to sneak the ball past defenders, and if you're deep in your own half, you might go for a territorial bomb, hit the big boot, and just hope your teammates chase it down like hungry wolves. There's also this sneaky trick called the 50-22 rule. If you kick the ball from your own half and it bounces into touch inside the opponent's 22, you get the line out. It rewards smart kicking and catches defenders napping. Oh, and the mark. If you catch a high ball inside your 22 and shout "mark" immediately, you get a free kick. It's a great way to slow things down, catch your breath, and pretend you've got everything under control. Passing, dropping, and getting called out. Now, this rule will leave you scratching your head. In rugby, you cannot pass forward for any reason. It doesn't matter if you're 1 inch over, if the ball travels forward from your hands, the ref's blowing that whistle so fast your head will spin. Passes must go sideways or backwards. It's weird at first, especially for folks used to forward passes in other sports. But once you get the hang of it, it's quite satisfying. Now, dropping the ball forward is a whole different problem. It's called a knock-on, and it happens when you lose control and the ball hits your hand or arm and falls forward. It's clumsy, frustrating, and it gives away possession to the other team. They'll also get a scrum from where the knock-on happens. So yeah, it's not ideal. Even pro players drop the ball when it matters most. Cold hands, slippery conditions, or just nerves. Whatever the excuse, knock-ons can turn games upside down. If you're tackled and the ball pops out forward, that's also a knock-on. Doesn't matter how accidental it was. Rugby's brutal like that. You've got to hold on to the ball like it's your phone in a public bathroom. Do not let it go, because once you do, it's the other team's party now. What you can and can't do at tackles, rucks and mauls. This part of rugby is where everything looks like chaos, but it's actually organised madness. When a player gets tackled, things happen fast. The tackler has one job first, and that's to let go. You can't hold on to the player like you're cuddling a stuffed animal. You also have to roll away and make yourself invisible, or the ref blows their whistle faster than you can blink. The tackled player can't cling to the ball either. They've got to place it behind them or release it. Usually they try to set it up for a teammate, like they're offering up a gift. Now comes the fun. The support players from each side rush in, but you can't just dive in from anywhere like a human cannonball. You have to enter through the gate, which means coming from behind your teammate's backside. Try to come in from the side and you'll give away a penalty before you even touch the ball. When enough players pile over the ball, a ruck forms. At that point, no hands are allowed. Seriously, it's like a no-touch zone. Everyone just pushes and fights for space. If the ball stays off the ground and people start wrapping around the carrier while still standing, that's a maul. Think of it like a moving huddle. But the offside line shifts back to the last feet in either case. So stay behind or you're toast. Scrums and lineouts. Scrums might look like a collapsed wrestling match, but they're all about structure and brute strength. When there's a knock-on or forward pass, the game doesn't stop for long. The 8 forwards from each team line up in a 3-4-1 formation. The front row does the pushing, the second row does more pushing, and the number 8 steers the thing from behind. It's basically teamwork at its most violent. The scrum half from the team that didn't mess up feeds the ball into the tunnel, down the middle, and while it might look like just a shove fest, there's some real skill involved. The hookers try to strike the ball back with their feet, but timing is everything. Push too soon and it's a penalty. Don't push hard enough and you get steamrolled, and once the ball pops out, the backs who've been standing 5 meters behind can join the party. Then there's the line out. When the ball goes into touch, each team sends 2 to 7 forwards to form a line 5 meters from the sideline, and the throw must go straight down the middle. Players get lifted by their teammates to catch the ball mid-air like human cranes. It looks cool and it's legal, but if the throw isn't straight, it's either another line out or a scrum for the other team. Either way, someone's getting punished. The offside rule, rugby players break the offside rule like it's a hobby, and it's probably the most misunderstood part of the game. You can't just stand anywhere you feel like, as positioning matters more than you think. During open play, if someone on your team kicks the ball, you can't be ahead of them. If you are, freeze. Don't move forward, don't try to sneak around, and don't interfere. If you do, it's a penalty. And yes, refs are watching like hawks. At scrums, rucks, and mauls, the offside rule changes slightly. The back line must stay behind the last foot of their team's formation. It's like an invisible wall, and if you step through it too early, it'll be a penalty. And refs love catching this one. It's their version of low-hanging fruit. They'll catch it 9 times out of 10. But players sometimes gamble. They try to anticipate the moment the ball's out and jump the line. When they get it right, they look like geniuses, but when they get it wrong, they look like clowns. The offside rule keeps the game fair. Without it, players would just stand next to the fly half and ruin every play before it begins. So it's not just there to make life difficult, it's there to give the game shape and space. Penalties, free kicks, and playing advantage. Rugby has rules, lots of them. And when someone breaks one, the ref hands out penalties like candy. If a player tackles high, enters a ruck from the side, or collapses a scrum, it's a penalty. The team that gets the penalty gets to choose how to restart. They can kick at the post for 3 points. They can kick the ball into touch and take a line out further up the field. They can even tap the ball and go catching the defense sleeping. Or they can call for a scrum if they like the look of their pack. Then there are free kicks. These are for the smaller crimes, things like time wasting, early engagement, or messing around in the line out. However, you can't take a shot at goal from a free kick. That's a penalty only privilege, but you can still tap and go or kick to touch and go from there. So they're not useless, just slightly less powerful. Now here's the best part. When a foul happens, but the team that got fouled might still score or make progress, the ref lets play continue. This is called playing advantage. If nothing happens after a few seconds or meters, the ref pulls it back. But if you do something brilliant during advantage, you get to keep it. It's like getting fouled in basketball but still sinking the shot. Cards, fouls, and the naughty list in rugby, discipline isn't optional. Players who mess around end up in serious trouble. The system is simple. Yellow card means 10 minutes in the sin bin. That's 10 minutes of watching your team struggle with one less player. And trust me when I say it's not a great feeling. As for the red card, it means you're done. You're off the field and your team plays the rest of the game without you. In some competitions, they let a replacement come on after 20 minutes, but that's a new thing and not yet generally adopted. Now, the list of things that can get you carded is long and clear. High tackles is a big no, same as shoulder charges without using your arms. Lifting someone and dumping them on their head is also an offence and a definite red card. Collapsing a maul or a scrum means a penalty if it looks dangerous, and then you've got deliberate knock-ons where a player swats the ball away instead of trying to catch it. That's a classic yellow card move, especially if it kills an attacking play. Helping out with all of this is the television match official. As I've mentioned before, it's a replay system that helps the ref make decisions. They can help call fouls accurately. But even with all the tech, the ref still gets the final say. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's controversial. Either way, don't end up on the naughty list. Other random rules that actually matter, time rules exist, even if players pretend they don't. You've got 90 seconds to take a conversion after a try, 60 seconds for a penalty kick, and 30 seconds to use the ball from a ruck or line out. Delay too much and the ref will hand the ball over. For goal line dropouts, if an attacker is held up or knocks on in the in-goal area, the defending team gets to drop kick it back into play. Also, if the ball goes out and you want to go fast, you can take a quick throw. But only if the same ball is used and no one else touches it, and it has to go straight, any funny business, and it's a line out to the other team. Obstruction is also a thing. You can't block tacklers or run in front of your teammate with the ball. That's sneaky and illegal. And finally, rugby jersey numbers matter. Numbers 1 to 8 are forwards. Number 9 is the scrum half. Number 10 is the fly half. The rest from 11 to 15 are the backs. Once you know that, you'll enjoy watching rugby even more. If you enjoyed this, there's plenty more rugby videos in the works. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.